Alito, Chimachukma. We are here. It is the Williams. So,
the shapers of wheels. Wheel Smiths.
well, I decided that I wanted to build on energy. Because that's kind of been the theme as of January, right? Dealing with energy. Whether you need it from someone else or it's being offered to you unsolicited, or, you're trying to build up your energy and, decide, if you want it to be a positive or a negative. When you think about energy, I like to equate it with your energy company, right? So what they like to do is they distribute energy to where it needs to go, right? Where it's being called for. So you got all these different houses on the block, right? And all of these houses need energy. All they're able to do, all they do is split that energy. And it's still the same energy. And it's used for whatever purpose or whatever means that is needed to be used for, right? So when you look at energy, I don't really like to look at it as good or bad, negative or positive. Reason being is because we have the ability and the power to transmute, to change things with our energy, right? A lot of times people put out energy to court attention at all costs, no matter how you perceive that energy, right?
Law 3 of 48 laws of power.
Yeah, no matter how you put it out there. And so when you're in a moment, you want to say something?
No, I was thinking.
Oh, all right. When you're in a moment, like when you're trying to change your energy, your vibrations, right? Your frequency that you're on. One of the best ways is just to simply change your thoughts, right? Just to simply change how you perceive things, because your reality is your perception, not the perception of others. While others may think of something in a certain way, in a certain fashion, doesn't mean that you're thinking about it in that same way and fashion. So, as of lately for me, I've allowed myself to succumb to the interpretation of somebody else's. Can't hear y'all right now. I'm in the shop getting twisted, but much love to you both. I'm going to catch the replay. All right, bro. Enjoy. But yeah, I allow myself to be swayed in a certain way based upon the perception or what was being admitted. Pieces, how are you? How it was being emitted from that person, right? In order for them to sway me in a certain direction, I had to succumb to the connotation that they put on that energy, right? The way to change it, again, is to change your thoughts and your perception about what is being given to you. That you can either take it negative or positive, but why take it negative when you can transmute it into a positive, use it and make it beneficial to you in your life, right? No matter how they intended for it to come to you, you have that power to change that. It doesn't have to come to you that way. You want to add anything real quick?
Yeah, I'm going to pass the mic.
You going to pass the mic?
Pass the mic. So, what she's basically saying, and I'm going to take it, like I say, it's doors of perception.
Right.
So what she's saying has many levels to it. So I'm going to take it to your personal level. Each cell in your body has a vibrational coding.
Right.
Each cell, and you have thousands upon thousands of cells in your body operating and functioning together to make you function how you perceive yourself functioning every day.
Right.
With that coding, well, a cell is namely water.
Yes.
We know that if you speak positive affirmations and vibrations into water and then freeze it, it shows up in a geometrical pattern.
Right.
If you speak words of ill intent, it shows up in a distorted pattern, but it shows up not the same.
Right.
I mean,
Peace,
it shows up still the same, but it's just distorted now.
Right.
So, with the thinking and what you allow around you as far as energy, because when you speak, that vibration is energy.
Right.
That vibration, every word that come about it, roll off of your tongue, has a vibrational pattern to it, which is energy.
Energy. Mm-hmm.
So, if you surround yourself, like what I went when I played this morning, man, this you have to approach it on a microscopic biological level. When you decide to really elevate and say, I'm not going
to succumb to this energy.
And it's not even, and it's that, but it's not even that. Like you said, they glide, we fly.
Yeah.
When you say you don't want to glide no more, it's time to fly, you have to first change your biological coding.
Right. Greetings, Bones. Peace, Yvette.
You can just sit it up there, boy.
But yeah, you have to be able to...
It's kind of hot.
You have to be able to identify the intent behind the energy that is being given, right?
Yeah.
And once you're able to identify, you're able to place it where it needs to be.
Or it don't need to be.
Or it don't need to be. That you can even equate that. It went out. You can even equate that with intuition and discernment, right? With your intuition, oftentimes we dismiss it. We'll give the benefit of the doubt, and we'll say, "Well, we'll see. We'll see what it is," right? And oftentimes that energy will come to you in the form in which, okay, baby, in the form in which they intended for it to affect your life. And what I really he wanted to get down to like the nitty gritty deepness of it, but it's really a very simple thing. Simply changing your thoughts. And we talk about this all the time. You change your thoughts, you change your life, right? Being able to transmute it. I know it hurts sometimes when certain energy comes into your space. Yes, you can share, of course. Certain energy comes into your space and it may shake you a little bit. But when you begin to do the work, when you're dealing with, peace, pat your mama. When you're dealing with, and I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry.
I'm back.
I'm finna get it back. I
got you, man. This is the freestyle. This is what we used to do in Houston when we had freestyle session. You be going and then we call it falling off. But I got you. But intentions. And you got to know where, like, your intuition is defense. See, we got too much to be trying to understand right now to even get into, to even be worried about some arguing with each other.
Yeah, like feeding, because that's what happens. Once you give it your attention, you're feeding it. Now they're thriving off of your energy because you're feeding them, right? I'm sorry.
Here you go. Take the microphone.
I told you it was going to come back.
Go ahead, since you got it. Go ahead.
But, once you start to feed that negative energy, that's what ends up persisting. Yeah, you can keep that for a little while. That's what starts to persist, in your life. That's what you start to recognize. That's what you start to... that's what you start to bring to the forefront in your life, the negativity, because that's what you're feeding. If you get to the place where you're understanding and you know that you're in a place where it's time to just release and let it go, that's your moment to be able to change that energy. Again, energy never dies. The only thing it does is transfer and transform, right? You can transfer it from one place to another and you can transform it into what is needed for you, right? Right. So...
Or you don't have to deal with it at all.
Well, because it persists. That's the thing. Energy persists.
Waves and particles, they're both the same energy.
Yeah.
The only thing that change a wave into a particle is what? attention.
To focus on it.
That's why I say, even with energy, what's that? If it don't apply, let it fly. Let it move over your head. Brush the dirt off your shoulders, homie. Throw a little salt over the left shoulder when you're trying to dismiss something and not have it as a fact. If you don't want to see something, you do not see it.
Yeah, you don't pay no attention to it.
You don't. The attention is the energy.
So like this, prime example, right? Prime example. And I'm gonna just use these singers and stuff, right? There was a concert footage that Beyonce had, and while she was on the stage, and I don't know if she was in the middle of it and she was tired or what, but she asked everybody to stretch their hands to her and give her their energy. It's a real thing. And everybody complied, and she was able to go on and keep going with the show. Then you have it to where, and I'm a creator, I'm an artist. So when I'm creating something, if I don't give it attention or energy, I can't seem to come up with the design that I want to do, right? Or you can't seem to create what it is that you set down to create because you're not really giving it the proper energy and intention that it needs to have. So that was just the other side of the game. You know, how you need, and you got to pull in certain energies, but you got to make sure it's a certain type of energy, right? Oh, wow. She did that. That's crazy. Oh, Beyonce, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
If y'all want to hear a perfect example of it, Big Crit got a song called Energy.
Energy, yeah.
Where he's saying, I need your energy. This world is killing me. Light it up, light it up. If you feel me, I feel you. You see what I'm saying? This is what the deadening of your senses keep you hyper stimulated. So you're not able to discern your emotions. You're not able to discern your emotions. You're not able to make the proper intellectual judgment based off of what you feel. What we call it, well, it's many different names. The God, the goddess, the self, the philosopher's stone, the elixir of life, your soul. Because it has its own energy signature.
Right. But then that's the
Energy
other thing.
vampires.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's the other thing, the difference in energy. It is the same, but depending upon how much attention is given to it, it becomes another thing, right?
You know what? You had this all the time. I mean, I think we had smoked some real good weed, and you was like, I feel like I'm controlling my body. Like I see myself controlling, like the little alien on Men in Black. When they cracked his head open, it was a little alien laying in that nigga head. See, your soul is its own thing too. Like what she's saying, it's its own. It has its own energy signature.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It is a substance made up of its own atoms and molecules. See, we it's so much we got to get into that we can't get into because we have to really clean the motherboard and be able to know where to focus our attention, the things we don't want to see in our reality and perception, how we don't see them, trust me, I went through this one of my last lives. Trust me, the higher ups are not thinking about us down here on the bottom. That's what they hire other people to do. They just pay for results. They're not thinking about you. They're thinking about what to do with these results that they get from all of these studies that they've done on us and they continue to do. And nobody's really snapping saying it's really, and you had motherfuckers been telling us it's biological.
Yeah.
Even your biology has a composition outside of what they know. They call it junk DNA.
Exactly. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead. I'm listening.
No, this because we're so worried about who hating and why you say this, nigga. You can't get above
that's
that.
the little thing,
man. We so far removed from what we need to have our attention on that we have to address this. Like, we don't even need to be addressing this. We got so much shit we need to get into. Like, for real. Like, on a whole nother level. Because when you start learning and retaining information that is high vibration, the world around you, it starts to look different.
Yeah.
People start to talk. And even though, like I did Andy like that the other day, because, you know, we both was just ready to go. And he had been drinking, so he was like, nigga, I'm finna go. I said, you know what? I'm not even talking to you. But I did it, and we was in the planned manner, but I was so serious that I'm finna get away from you because I do want to go already.
That same way.
Yeah, I want to go already, and you saying it ain't doing nothing but reverberating it.
It changes your vibration, right?
Man.
It pulls you down and starts to make you feel the same way that person is feeling.
And I'm already feeling that, trying to shake it, where I done already say, hey, man, I'm finna go take me about 30 minutes in the bathroom, bro. I got to shake this. And when I shake it, I come back and you saying the same shit, man, I got to get away from you. Because you on that bullshit, and I know I need to be here. And I removed myself. Wasn't mean about it. Nothing. It was in a joking format, but I understood.
Yeah. That
I need to get away from this because if I hear it one too many more times, guess what? I'm gonna be at the time clock early, like, and the bitch just told me, don't you?
And if you would have kept on entertaining it,
Man.
it would have trickled down to everybody else.
Yep.
Everybody else would have been, I don't want to be here, and then the energy in the whole place would have went down. You know, it's like Callie does say it. Energy is contagious.
Yep.
And it's not necessarily that it's contagious because like energy attracts like energy. So if there is a notion in your mind that is equal to that energy, it's going to try to come and weasel its way in. It's going to come and try to come up in there.
Real quick. See, that's when you start to know when to incorporate things like your tools. These are tools.
Mm-hmm.
So anything that I've programmed to this right here, when I start moving out of the balance of it, this grounds me back.
Mm-hmm. And that's black tourmaline
and
Micah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have to have our tools, but we also have to follow our intuition because it's directly connected to our vibrations and our energy. And if we don't follow our intuition, we get thrown off whack every time. Or we start going through things. Yes, black tourmaline. We start going through things and we're trying to figure out why. It's because you're not listening to yourself. That's that mechanism within yourself that keeps you from going down those avenues or dropping your vibrations to where you become those and the things around you. That's what you're trying not to do. You don't want to become all these distractions too. All this stuff in the news and all of that. We don't watch the news at all. We get our information by research. But the news is what they'll come in and they'll feed you all types of stuff and then there's your day, right? There's your day. Because oh my gosh, they over in the Capitol doing what? Oh, I hope they don't do no mess here. You know? And then now you're riding that same wave until you make a conscious decision to change that frequency, change that vibration, take yourself or pull yourself out of it, dismiss it, or transmute it.
Right. Shit, exactly right. And that's been the name of the game for the longest. Once they got the formula from hip hop, hey, we can say it how we say it, but man, once they got that formula through the music, and Ja Ray did some stuff. It's a friend of mine. She did some stuff on it where it was comedic. Sidebar. Hey, this knowledge that we're talking about was around the world. I don't care how you dress it up.
Yeah.
We know who we are, but you can look and say We part of a different family because all of these civilizations around the world, from America to fucking wherever, if they got pyramids in them and mounds in them, they shared a common knowledge. They shared a similar knowledge. And they knew how to live and they knew how to die. Back to the topic at hand. Where was I? Where was I?
Well, with that being said, though, excuse me.
Yeah, I gotta remember that song.
It's okay. With that being said, though, yeah, because I jumped into what you're talking about, and I'm getting ready to go in.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, with that being said, it's still an energy. It's still an energy. It's still an energy that has to go out. Our world has meridians, ley lines. This is our grid that this world has. Okay.
Real scientific now.
And with these meridians and ley lines, they have certain crystals that formulated on these certain points. We know that crystals harness energy, right? And we utilize the energy of these crystals to help us maintain our energy field, our meridians and ley lines within our being, right? Because we are pretty much what we walk upon, and we are what we see when we look above, right? Okay. So when you looking at these things in your life, like he was talking about life and death, because right now they don't teach you how to live. They pretty much accelerate your death without teaching you how to transition over and how to make that travel so that you don't have to return back and do this stuff all over again, right? If we understand, first and foremost, that everything is energy, okay? Some things vibrating faster, other things vibrating slower. Okay, the reason why we're able to see and perceive the things that we are looking at today is because it's slowed down its vibration enough for us to perceive it. Okay,
through our focusing on it, our attention.
Through our focus and attention on the things that we see. So everything in this world we manifested because we gave it attention. What's that?
We agreed upon it.
Yes, we agreed upon it.
Words. Just where words start.
Right, because word is
when you
word
name
is sound.
You command it.
Right.
Yes, I'm sorry.
And when you name something, you command it. So, once you start to understand it, energy is such a beautiful thing, because as soon as you begin to understand it, because these people be trying to talk about, well, how do I become a millionaire? Well, how do I do this and how do I do that? For me, I've always said money wasn't a thing to me. So I didn't feed it much energy. Not saying I don't have money, but I don't want to be like those people who are rich and, looking down their nose and stuff at people and all those things. I didn't want to be that individual, so I didn't put much energy into having large amounts of money. Same thing like with my business. I don't want a huge business. I want to give to those who really need these things, right? So anyways, once you begin to understand the role that energy plays in our life, because that's what jumpstarts our body. I don't care what nobody say. Okay, your soul has to have energy. Your soul has to have energy. Thank you, baby.
Don't take them across the crossroads. I hear you.
Your soul has to have energy in order for it to even be here, in order for it to even exist. It gets its energy from a source that many of us ignore. We don't think about this source out here in the universe that is mental, that is the mind, right? So come on, get in this conversation. So we have to understand that when we start to, and I'm going right back to the first point, when we start to feed the wrong thing, it transforms your very own energy within yourself that was and is still connected to the energy. So you start to deal with karma. You start to deal with just anomalies or breaks in the energy or different paths and avenue because of what you decided to project into your energy, or are you allowed to bring into your energy? Go ahead.
I'm going to say what you say under that, and y'all might understand that they said this when it's going to be religious, but y'all going to understand what she's saying. When God got you moving and doing what you're supposed to, the devil be hard at work. That means simply that. When you're vibrating and doing what you're supposed to do, because this is work. This is in and out every day, every moment, every breath. Don't think that this work is only when you stop and meditate and you go in. Man, in your every breath and step, you're doing this work to try to keep your energy balanced.
Right. And balance is key. So this is the other thing about, I'm sorry, let me just get this out really quickly. Really quickly. That's the other thing about it. So you have a scale with all of these different degrees on it, and you got that one in the middle, 0, balance, right there, right? The way we like to look at energy is, okay, you got good, bad, positive, negative. We want to strive to be right there in the middle. So that means that you have to accept the good with the bad. But you have to be able to decipher those levels of positive even within that negative. Again, they're degrees, so it's a gradient. It gets intense, and then it decreases in intensity.
But it's still on the same pattern.
Scale,
on the
same
scale.
thing.
So it's the same thing.
Right.
Go ahead.
So, yes, we want to strive for balance, but we also want to be able to go back and grab what was for us in that degree of that energy, right? Even when it's positive energy, there's still something that's there for you, and then there's something that's not there for you. So you have to be able to weave through and say, okay, that's for me and that's for me. Then you go forward with that energy, and that is what keeps your vibrations high and also keeps your energy balanced.
And the exercise physically, if y'all want to try this out and exercise your mind with this, the book Cyclomancy, I'm sure we got it in one of our books somewhere. Take some warm water if you want to do this physically, and just work on the strength to show you that gradient is the same. It's all in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Take some warm water, put your left hand in it, and say it's cold. Make it cold. So there is no spoon. So don't try to sit up there and really make the water cold. You're not going to do it.
It's energy.
It's in your mind. And then take your right hand and put it in some cold water, make it warm. And that shows you that warm and cold, this gradient is the same thing.
All that makes it different is your perception.
Too much praise is just as detrimental as somebody talking down on you all the time. Think about it.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. It's the same energy, and it's about where you perceive it, where you store it, how you use it, if you even choose to use it. Because if you don't see it, then you continue on with your mission.
Right on.
If you choose to see it, that means you're taking more baggage with you. Mm-hmm. If you don't know how to shed off, and chew the meat and spit the bones, as people say.
Right, because energy renews. It renews. So you don't have to dwell on the thing that's been weighing you down. If you go on and shake it off and keep moving forward, your energy renews. You don't have to get bogged down and weighed down because something has hurt you or something has done you wrong or however you perceive that thing. You can shake that off. Allow that your energy to be renewed and keep moving forward. That renewed means redirecting your focus. That's what renewal is. Yeah. Redirecting your focus. So I'm an energy healer. In Reiki, when I say restorative healing, that's what I'm saying. It's time to redirect your energy. What are you focusing on? Because what you're focusing on is the thing that's persisting. Even if it is in the spiritual or the physical or whatever, it's doing its thing on all levels. So once you start to change your thoughts and begin to change your life, you start to change your actions, and your outcome becomes that thing that you really wanted it to be.
Yep.
You're welcome, beloved.
Yep. That's it in a nutshell. Y'all just got a quantum physics, biology, life in a nutshell. Just like because it's all the way down to your cells.
Yeah, it's molecular.
It's molecular.
Mm-hmm.
What you think about, you're sending through your body to react in that fashion.
I'm going to get scientific again for you, just really, really quickly.
Go for it.
All right.
I like
So when
science.
you think about it, it's the same thing. Like I said, the energy company, right? Think of the energy company as your brain, the synapses and connections in your brain, sending out signals, or your body sending neurological signals to your brain, telling you
Somatic signals.
thank you. Telling your brain that to
This
do
is
this,
us,
do
yeah.
that, do this. Oh, you're sick. Oh, you got this. Oh, this is happening. Simply because of that spark of energy within your body sending these messages. So you got these people, I'm going to just say it like this. Our ancestors, our American ancestors here, what would they do when they were sick? They would separate themselves from everybody else, right? And they would sit down and they would drive that focused thought into themselves, right? Meditation, right?
Songs.
And songs.
The drum beat sets it in.
And you start to change those signals that's being sent out throughout your body. You're able to now say, nope, that's not what that is. I do this all the time, especially when it's time for me to start working. And I say, if my hands are hurting, no, my hands are not hurting. My hands are fine. My hands are not hurting. My hands are fine. I'm good. And I can go forward and I can keep doing what I'm doing because I have changed the energy flow within my own vessel. Right? The understanding that it got computed differently. Right? Did you want to say something? No, I thought you wanted to say something.
No, I was going to say some of the best healing that you've done is earth healing, like through the earth. The channeling of the energy and giving, but that was on something totally different.
I mean, yeah, but it can be done in so many different ways. And I'm glad you said that, though, because this is what's needed to be learned or understood, I should say, because we have a concept. Oh, go outside, take your shoes off and ground yourself. Don't just sit and say, hey, I'm just want to ground myself. No. Connect to the healing energy that the earth has, because the earth always does what? It renews itself. It restores itself. When something dies, it grows back, right? Utilize that energy, pull from it and say, hey, I need healing. I need proper healing. Restore my energy, right? Restore the energy within me. Help balance the energy within me. We have to do this to each other, vice versa. We ourselves and to the earth. We just have to do that. We really should be.
It's an ecosystem.
Yeah. We live off of each other. We thrive off of each other's energy.
Man, yeah, hey. And I said that in one of my last posts, and he's like, parasites eat off people. And I just laughed it off because I was at work and I ain't had the time to just go in. But she just said it. If you describe the characteristics of what that is, that's a parasite.
And thriving off of each other. Living off of each other.
So that's a humbling thought, meaning that's a grounding thought when you go to thinking too highly of yourself. And that's how I ground myself. You ain't nothing more than a parasite. But then on the up level, when I need to balance that out, I say, you know what? But you live for fucking ever. I can do all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm around here meta. They call it being meta. Now you understand it now. Like you are quantum.
Yeah, you have life everlasting.
And you're existing more than just on the level that you perceive.
Why? And energy never dies.
There it is.
So you want life eternally and you want good life eternally, then work on your energy. Change your thoughts. Understand what's really important to focus on. And reconnect to the place that you live on. Reconnect, because we've gone so far to the point to where we want to build and keep destroying. You know? And even in that, we got, you want to build communities, we want to do all this. Even in that, you still have to understand exactly what it is that you want, because you can get that, but then at what cost type things.
Yeah. Yeah, I shared that post. I didn't share it for a reason. Like, for no reason.
I was just reading.
Oh, yeah. I didn't share it for no reason. Like, when we watch these movies, and man, so many people break down movies, and y'all really need to get into what these movies, because all of these movies have an underlying, multi-layered message that they're telling you. And I am like persistent in telling you that the Infinity Wars, if you haven't heard the breakdown on that one, you need to go get it because Thanos wasn't the bad guy. What do you want? No. Bye.
No, we're good. Baby.
You just had to come get in the camera, huh? Nobody wants to see you. I'm just playing.
You was talking about Infinity War.
Yeah, Infinity War. Yeah, because that was the main dialogue. We're all on this planet, like she said, we're all trying to build. That means we're taking from. Does anybody know how to put back, really? Now, do you kind of understand what the blood sacrificing was about?
No, from the ancestors, yeah.
Yeah, hey, they wasn't savage. That was a what you call it, an honor.
Yes, they feel like it was an honor and it was an offering to Pachamama.
To the earth. Because this earth was built on the bones of our ancestors.
Yep. And it's gonna keep being that way. So wouldn't you wanna give it the proper energy so that even when you die, because it's built on the bones of our ancestors and it's a continual cycle. So when you die and your grandbabies come about, guess what? That land that they're walking on was built with the bones, with your bones. So it's deep.
And that's from the physical all the way down to the biological. All the way down to the meta. To the unseen. Meta means unseen. Perceptions. Dimensions, planes, whatever you want to call them. Whatever floats your boat, whatever school of thought you're in. Hey, use that word because guess what? Across the world, though, it means the same. That's why I was going with that.
Go for it.
So it doesn't matter how you come about your understanding of this science that all of our people, we want to know what they were studying. How did they get so far in advance? These niggas studied the planet they lived on, and they studied themselves, and from their physical self all the way down to their thought, to their cellular,
the unseen to the vastly seen,
to their where we came from. Oh, we're stars. Ultimately, us to the earth to.
Yeah, because if we were way out there on another arm, Earth would be what? A star.
A star.
To us. We would see it as a star.
Earth was a star.
Yeah, it was. Go for it.
Earth was a star. It was a sun.
Big shout out to Baba Phil Valentine.
Man. Hey, man, Asgard, if you ever seen Asgard, that's kind of the idea that you can kind of get of what you're on. With a magnetic field. That connects to the sun, or the sun's magnetic field is within it. We're still researching on a lot of this shit. But for the base things, oh yeah. Our people were studying it from here across the world. They were studying.
Asgard. Thor.
Yeah.
Loki.
Infinity Wars get blowed up. Boom.
Odin.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give you names.
It's Norse mythology.
There we go. Norse mythology.
Norse mythology.
Phoenix souls, we need you to. Aw.
Yeah. Hey, good morning. Yeah, it's Norse mythology, and they have a world tree just like the Mayans have a world tree, just like the Egyptians got a tree.
Everybody
China got a tree.
The same.
The Plains Indians got a tree. That they talk a world tree. You know, they was telling you, man. They was telling you where you came, where you descended from, and where you can ascend from if you do the work. That means you have to know thyself.
Yeah, so and that's where it starts.
Yep,
it starts with the self. And people ask me how you do this and how you get to this and how you find out all of this stuff. Well, what resonates with you? What are you attracted to? What knowledge or information just, seems to sit well with you? That's where you begin. For a lot of people who are actually going through like genealogy, trying to find out who they are and things like that, most of the time they go from Christianity to like a Islam or something like that. Then we got the Hebrew Israelites out here because of the similarities. But you have to start to understand, why are you drawn towards a certain aspect of certain things? Because then it helps you to understand, like we talk about purpose, right? It helps you to understand that avenue for you. So a lot of people ask that question, well, how do I figure out what my life's purpose is? It's just resonance. What do you like? What do you enjoy? And if it's your passion is to make sure that, people have proper information, or you want to make sure that people know how to heal themselves, well, then that's your life's purpose. It's the thing that you enjoy the most, that thing that gives you most fulfillment in your life. That's your life purpose. You don't got to go run around. Hey, baby. You look good. You don't have to go running around trying to figure out based upon, this person's doing that or that person's doing this. Because I found myself doing that. And I only speak from experience, you all. So I found myself doing that. Oh, okay, well, that seems to be what the direction is, so that's what I'm going to do. No, it's not necessarily that. It's resonance is energy too. So it's what you gravitate towards. Remember, like energy attracts like energy. So if you find yourself wanting to educate children, then by all means, be a teacher. You don't have to go in the system and be a teacher. We have many avenues now where we can put information out, and it can go anywhere it needs to go. Same thing with your actions and what you give your attention to. Just have them stay in, baby. It is too cold.
Yeah, stay in.
Yeah. So I was just pretty much talking about. I kind of got into purpose, but how it's still energy. How it you gravitate towards what you're interested in, and then it's still resonance. It's energy.
Oh yeah, resonance.
Mm-hmm. And you have magnetism and radiation.
And you know what? And I don't feel lost, but a specific thing outside of like you and my family, like a specific thing. That's why the purpose thing, I believe it. Some people have a destined purpose. Mm-hmm. But I've always told you, it's like, I know I've done this before, so I'm down here just dibbling and dabbling and just shooting the breeze.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes you are here just, hey, now it's time for you to just be. You done enough. It's time to just be. Ride it out.
No, it's this one is how to get out of here this time.
Yes. We try to get up out of here. We don't want to come. I
said I wanted to come back, but you know what? I'm not one for repeating myself, so I don't think that
the repetitiveness.
Yeah, the repetitiveness starts to get old, and you start to realize that with deja vus, all of these are your cells, your
remembering
your parts of your body that's secreting certain kind of chemicals.
Coming back together.
Hey man, you be like, I done did this before. I didn't seen it, and you're thinking that it may be from just this life. No, it's not always just this life. It's probably a prior life. Mm-hmm. You did it because you never seen it before and it never happened. Now, sometimes premonitions, it tells you what's going to be.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You have to start studying that part of yourself. You see what I'm saying? This has been my thing, though. This has been my thing. Hey, that shadow person that we got created, go deal with it. That's why we keep saying hurt people. Hurt people don't know that they hurt sometimes. They choose to cut that part of themselves off and not deal with it. Their shadow.
No, that's So
this
you go deep. You go deep into. Now he's talking about self-healing in this part. People have called it shadow work, but it's still self-healing. You have to identify where your hurt comes from, right? And sometimes it's from those people that you love the most and you don't want to place that on them. Coming to the realization that no matter where they at in your family hierarchy or whatever, there are still people just like you. Whether it's a brother, a sister, an aunt, an uncle, a grandmother, your mother, your father, whoever it is, and even those way back in the past that may have done some far out shiesty shit with somebody else, stole their land, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Our ancestors' energy does well with us too.
Oh man.
Okay.
You finna get serious?
It go with it. Because we talking about self-healing.
All the way to your biology.
It goes down to your biology. Understand this. Sometimes we have to go back and do ancestral healing. Meaning, you don't got to know what it was that happened. Know that something happened in order for this energy. Because we talk about cycles all the time, right? Generational curses and things like that. These are the things that are living in your energy, because when you are a little seed, guess what? You and your grandmother and your mama. So you're feeling the energy of the things that they are dealing with, the things that are coming on, their hurts, their pains, their traumas, all of those things. Granddaddies too.
Daddy.
Granddaddy too.
Uncles. Whoever's around.
Mm-hmm.
But not just who's around physically, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
But who has been, because of that mitochondrial. Mm-hmm. Especially in us. So anything that any of our mothers were going through, and that's encapsulating that family, from mama down to daddy to all of that, who's ever in that mitochondrial, you got it. Mm-hmm. It's in you.
So, and I'm gonna this one of the techniques I like to do. It's just me. I always give y'all something to take with y'all. Mm-hmm. I like to go and sit at a body of water, okay? One that has some way of flowing into something natural, or it's an actual natural body of water. I prefer natural bodies of water. One's moving, so I go to the river. At the river, you sit and yes, take your shoes and socks off and plant them.
I'm gonna go check on the babies.
All right, plant your feet. Plant your feet in that soil. Yes, plant your feet in that soil. Okay, even if you just go to a park or something like that, if you can't get to a body of water, that's fine. It's intention. Remember, everything is energy. Okay, but a lot of times we need something tangible. So this is a tangible thing that can be done. Put your feet in that soil, the sand, whatever it is. Then you want to be able to start to think about your ancestors. Whatever you know, it don't have to be something that you know that happened thousands of years ago, hundreds of years ago, or tens, or whatever, 5 years ago, whatever. It doesn't have to be any of that. You can just simply think about your grandparents or your parents. Either way it goes, you want to send that energy back. All you want to do is say, whatever has transpired to the energy that flows within me, I want to forgive its negative energy and influence. Anything that was positively done to this energy that flows through me, I want to give thanks and allow it to persist within me. I want the goodness of my ancestors to flow. I want their positive legacy to flow. These are the things that you're going to have to start to speak to help bring about a healing within yourself. Then you go to the situations and things that those who are closer to you, like your mother, your father, things that you were able to see, maybe even experience yourself. It brings it closer to home. Okay. Then you want to start to identify this energy that persisted through our energy, through my energy, my mother's energy, her mother's energy, through my father, my grandfather's energy, his father's energy, and so on and so forth. I want to dead this energy. I want to cut this energy off. And if you feel like, no, instead of cutting it off, you want to transmute it, you want to turn it into something else, then by all means do that. I want to turn this negative into a positive. I no longer want this aspect of this energy to persist in my life. And you place your hands upon your wombs, ladies, and you say, or my offsprings, my children's lives, or their children's lives. And this is how you begin to change that energy. Because when you speak things, of course, yes, it's a spell that's cast. But the only reason why it goes forth is because of the energy that is behind it. Okay? So you make sure you stay with that positive thoughts. Okay? You have to stay with the positive thought. Don't allow the negative thought or, the lesser degrees on that scale to come to the forefront. You want to stay there. Brothers, place your hands upon your testes, because guess what? You hold the seed. Okay? You hold the seed, and that seed holds energy as well. Okay? Even when you guys are so wonderful. Even when you are in the process of intercourse or conceiving, and they call this tantric sex, you want to make sure that your thoughts are on positive outcomes as well. Things that you want to, if you want to manifest things in your life, or if you do want to continue that self-healing, working on that shadow self, then you want to make sure that every single thing that you are doing that needs energy, and that's everything in life. Everything needs energy. So you want to make sure you're feeding the right frequency, the right thought, the right energy to the things that you're doing. So you guys got me. I'm gonna go to the river, probably the middle of the week or something. Hopefully on a warmer day, and I'm gonna go do this. I used to go out all the time, and I called it earth doulaing, and I think I need to get back to doing that. Just simply because the things that are going on, the earth needs healing too. Even though it's a self healing and self mechanism or self sustaining mechanism, we still can assist. We still can help, because what ends up happening is what you put out, you receive back, right? Let's see. Here we go. Let me see what you guys are saying. Tantric is on a whole nother level when it comes to using all of those senses. Yes. And don't complicate it. It doesn't have to be complicated. It's energy. That's all it is. It's energy and intent. That's all it is. Could I do this in the tub? Most definitely. Spiritual cleansings are sometimes I do them in the tub. Sometimes I take a bowl of like spring water, or if I've collected rainwater, I'll use the rainwater. Sometimes you can actually go out. If you trust it, I'll go to the river and scoop up some water as well. And put your herbs and all those things in it. You can place your hands in it. Now, when you place your hands in, this is your opportunity to infuse your intent into that water. Okay? Speak. Don't just do it in your head. Speak. Because that is, speaking is energy turned into sound. Okay? And that sound is frequency wavelengths. Okay? Once you speak that into that water collects those wavelengths and it becomes what you need it to be. Okay? Water is a wonderful vessel. It's a conductor. It channels energy as well as emitting energy. What we got the Hoover Dam. Oh, not here. I'm a California girl, y'all. Forgive me. But that dam down in California, it's in between, and not California, Nevada, and anyways, it generates energy as that water flows, right? So this is a prime example of letting you know water is probably your best bet to help transmute energy. Another thing, like they tell you to drink room temperature water in the morning. Speak to that water, positivity. Speak to that water, the I ams that only you can affirm. And then drink that water. So now you're ingesting your words made energy into your body. Okay? Allowing you to do things. Same thing with things that you want to manifest. How about you write it down? Stick it in a cup of water. Stick it in a cup of water. Write it down. Stick it in a cup of water and freeze it. Now you have introduced your intent into a vessel of water, and now you have secured it and made it everlasting by it being able to be frozen. Keep it there. When you open your freezer door, guess what? You get to see that positive affirmation every time. Let me see here. You know what? I got to start talking and sharing more. And I will. Life right now is got a lot going on, but I'm going to get there. Yes, first law, the first universal law, whatever energy you put out must come back. Yes, exactly. I'm trying to see if there was any other questions back here, you all. Sorry. Just give me a moment. Why? Yep. All right. Yeah, so I it went in so many different directions, but I love where it is right now. And I'm going to do this more often. You guys, I do have a YouTube channel. If you just simply type in Phoenix-Ism, you'll find it. Sometimes I just ramble off and talk about things such as this. And I'm going to try to download this and put it on there as well. When it's time, it's time, and that's how I like to flow. Wordplay, right? I'm flowing with this energy that comes to me. And if it's not what I want it to be, it's like a video game, right? Like an old school Atari video game, like Centipede or something. You're flowing in space and stuff is coming at you. You either dodge it or you smack it back, right? Or you shoot it. Pew, pew, pew. That's how we're going through life, like Centipede. That's how we got to look at this. That's how we got to do it. Okay? I think that's like the best analogy right there. That, and it seems so simple, and it is so simple, and it's complex all at the same time.
I
because
like squirrel trying to get a nut.
It's so complex because it's something that we have to keep remembering because we don't have those around us or those, on television, all that stuff that will help us to be reminded all the time.
If you don't mind me saying this is the part of it where she's speaking about knowing the matrix. Because all of that, like she used Centipede, it's a program. Input it. So, if you begin to know yourself and know that the matrix that you're in, you're writing a program to dodge. That you're leaving first off a coding, a genetic coding, you're leaving an energy signature, all while writing this program, dodging through life, dodging through your matrix. Because this is what you created. We all sitting here listening on this live agreed on being at Earth at this point in time.
That's powerful.
And said we're going to be on Earth. Or our ancestors said, hey, bam, Earth. Oh, it's a place where you can thrive and live. We're going to multiply here.
Mm-hmm. It was a favorable environment.
Yeah, boo-boo.
That's why we're here.
It was
favorable.
That means the cells can split.
Like, you mean I can thrive here?
We can multiply.
That's what it
But
was.
in our multiplication, this is where all the metaphysical and the code sciences come in. When we decided to divide, the one became two to exist on this agreed place. Now, we gave ourselves some work.
There you go.
But what was the catch in that work was, even so you've divided, you still can become one without becoming one. Without merging back into the hip. We got children. We became one.
Yep. Yeah.
See, we have to start attacking the subjects that we've been pushed away from to understand what our current situation is.
And we got to stop trying to turn it into this big old grand thing. You are a creator. Why? Can you have babies? You got eggs? And he got seeds? Well, there it is.
Who got a business? Didn't you sit down and didn't that business come out of your thoughts? Didn't you draw that down and manifest that out into something physical to every day you walk into your business? IBM, Apple, Microsoft were all somebody's thoughts. And they just brought them down and did the necessary work on this plane to get it into fruition.
And I'm going to say it like this. Biblically, faith without works is dead. Faith is nothing but energy, your intent. I got faith in this. Well, I'm feeding this energy because I believe in it. Right?
That's it.
That's all it is. And once you begin to do that, you got to put in your works. Meaning it's time to get up and move. That's it. Move towards it. How do you move towards it? Working on it. Building on it. That's all it really is. We got to stop turning things into like
Yeah.
These grand things. I'm a philosopher.
That's what I was gonna say about that. See, they don't want to really release all this information because it's smart motherfuckers that's amongst us that can decode and know what the fuck these people, all of this stuff and these grimoires and all of the magic and the Ifa and all of this. They have to release all of that stuff. But see, they gave you a way to look at it through the programming of your attention to how magic and how this is perceived on TV. You man, what do you look at when you look at Infinity Wars now? Do you see it as these niggas up in space shooting? No. You don't even look at it the same because you've studied.
I'm looking at the reason why this needs to be balanced. Oh, I understand what he was saying there now, you know?
I look at all of that as a process happening within me.
Mm-hmm. That too. Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it. It's a process was happening within me. Thor is a process that we created. Black Panther. All of these things are processes because if they're part of mythology, guess what? They're part of your psychology.
Right on. So look, y'all, I'm sorry. We got to cut this short. My phone is finna die. Got to go put it on the charger, you guys. As often as I think to share, I will share. I promise you guys. I've been holding back quite a bit. So has this one here, as you can tell. So, we'll be back from time to time. And I think what we'll do is, you want to create a page and just the light hour it?
Oh, we're supposed to do that with the Anchor.
Nah, I don't want to do Anchor.
You don't want a podcast?
Nah.
It's too much responsibility.
Yeah, it's, that's the other thing. I don't want to fracture myself too many. I don't want to be over here, over there, over there, over here, over here. I don't want to do that. So we'll be right here. And,
we might be on YouTube.
We'll share. Of course we're on YouTube.
We might sit down and do it and start up right on the light hour.
Love you too, sis.
Phoenix-Ism.
You all are so welcome.
Words of encouragement.
Yeah, most welcome.
And just help them up. Just help it. Man, this is shit just to help people out. Because guess what? Like I said, every breath we take, every step we make.
I'm watching you.
Man, and I'm being tentative and mindful of my thoughts, actions, of my words, sound, and power.
And with that being said, we're going to send to you guys much light and much darkness as we strive for balance in this physical realm of existence. We want to give you love, peace, and harmony.
With yourself.
Harmony.
With yourself.
All right, y'all. Peace and blessings. Shafi Shalashke.